Welcome to the third video of the Rubix Financial Ratio Series. In our previous video, we discussed solvency ratios. Now, let's talk about liquidity. Liquidity ratios are financial metrics that help us measure the ease with which a company can meet its short-term debts with its available liquid assets and without raising external capital. There are three main types of liquidity ratios. Let's start with the current ratio. The current ratio measures a company's ability to pay off its current liabilities using its current assets. Current liabilities are a company's short-term financial obligations that are due within 1 year. Current assets include cash and those assets that can be converted into cash within a year, such as marketable securities, accounts receivable, and inventory. A current ratio of 1:1 indicates that current assets are equal to current liabilities and that the business is just able to cover all of its short-term obligations. If the current ratio is below 1, it means that the company does not have enough liquid assets to cover its short-term liabilities. While the ideal current ratio varies from industry to industry, a current ratio of between 1.5 and 2 is considered to be healthy. Next up is the quick ratio, which is also known as the acid test ratio. This metric is an indication of a company's short-term liquidity position. It is a ratio of the most liquid current assets to the current liabilities. The most liquid current assets include cash, marketable securities, and accounts receivable. These are known as quick assets because they can be converted into cash quickly. By excluding less liquid assets like inventory, the quick ratio provides a more conservative estimate of a company's ability to pay off its current liabilities. Generally speaking, the higher the quick ratio, the better the company's liquidity position and its ability to meet short-term obligations. Finally, we have the cash ratio. The cash ratio is the most conservative of the three, as it measures a company's ability to pay off its current liabilities using only its cash and cash equivalents. Cash equivalents are highly liquid investments that can be converted quickly into cash. Some examples are liquid mutual funds and short-term government bonds. A cash ratio greater than 1 indicates that the company's cash and cash equivalents are more than its current liabilities. In this case, the company can pay off its short-term liabilities and still have some leftover cash. A higher cash ratio is generally more reassuring to lenders and investors. But why are liquidity ratios useful? Liquidity ratios help in taking more informed financial decisions about a company. These ratios are analyzed by lenders to decide whether or not to lend to a company by enabling them to determine the borrower's ability to meet its short-term debt obligations. Similarly, suppliers look at a company's liquidity ratios to check if it has the capacity to meet its trade payment obligations in the short term. Finally, investors analyze liquidity ratios to determine if a company's business is financially stable. Poor liquidity ratios indicate working capital constraints which can affect the company's overall performance. To sum it up, when you're looking to assess a company's financial health, don't forget to take a close look at its liquidity ratios. Please subscribe and follow Rubix Data Sciences for more such videos.